Good evening, everybody. Welcome to TP Can. I am the Director of Outreach and Communications, and boy, oh boy, do we have a story for you guys today. We are going to come on board today with sharing some very, very, very disturbing information about Jeffrey Epstein and his connection, his alleged connection to a reporter in Alberta. So there's a panel of us that are coming on today. We do have the receipts to prove what we are saying. I'm going to bring a colleague of mine on, Mr. Patrick King. Let me see if I can get you in here, Pat. Add to stage. I can't see you, Pat, and I'm not sure why my head's small. Oh my goodness. I think we've had some government interference. They just completely cut our feed. Holy shit. This is happening in real time. Hi, Pat. They did.
How's it
Like
going?
literally, they did.
Wow.
They just completely shut down everything. First, my screen just started going a little bit crazy. Everything started moving where it shouldn't be moving, and they just completely kicked me out.
Ouch,
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So also they removed all of my presentation material. So I'm gonna have to take a minute and upload that while you and John talk. How about that?
Yeah,
Okay.
not a problem. So, guys, we know that just in recent days there was some divulging of Epstein files that were put out online. Whether you can say whether or not they're validated, they do come from the Department of Justice, so that way we can kind of source that that's the link to it all. But there are some close ties, and if not extreme concerns for Canada in these documents when you start to see that we have CBC News agents that are working with, legacy media, have connections now into the Epstein files. They're showing that there's connections to inviting Jeffrey to Canada to be a part of a dinner. There's connections to a bunch of these things that is allegedly the lady, her name is Tiffany Burns, and conveniently enough, Tiffany has passed away, and now they're going to try and allegedly align it correctly that it was with her. She's seen him down in
Hold on a
Epstein
second,
Island and
Pat.
stuff.
Hold on. I don't mean to interrupt. Ron Clark is just popping in. I think he wants to come on with us today. I'm just going to bow out and let you guys do your thing for a few minutes while I upload the rest of the documents, okay?
You can hear me loud and clear, guys?
I can hear you. I can't see you on the screen, though.
Yeah. That's the point.
I think your computer's been...
We're not live right now as we speak. Right
there
now.
He is.
Oh, hi. I know. I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose. I wasn't sure if we were live or not. I think we're not.
Patty's. Oh, no, we are live.
There's Neil.
Live. Oh, everybody's coming in. Good. Okay, so listen, what happened, John, is as soon as we got in, we got shut down. They completely shut down our screen, shut down all of our information. So I'm going to let you guys chat for a minute while I pull up the rest of this information, okay? We had it all done, didn't we, Pat?
We did it. Yeah, we did it, Joe. We did it. So, yeah, from what I could deduce from what I was trying to look into today, what I was trying to break and get as close to it as I could is allegedly her name's Tracy Burns. Tracy was trying to invite, here it is again, trying to invite Jeffrey to a party in Edmonton where they can raise a bunch of money for charity organizations. Then we've got them talking about how she really misses him, and if this is her, unfortunately I don't want to speak ill of the dead because it seems that she's passed away from cancer now. But I think it goes a little bit further than this when you start to see these are more of them. I believe it was in the middle of the 848. They're trying to sell some kind of movie or documentary. I'm not sure about the recent documentaries that have been showing up, if they're the same timeline. I didn't get that far into it, but it's getting a close-knit tie to, did this man have his hands in everything and in everyone?
Too. I just can't believe that our whole system just crashed. I've got things. I'll pop up with one of the first slides so you guys can have a chat about it, okay? While I continue. There we go. Let's get you one.
John, you want to take this?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna ask you to take over. I'm getting like some pop up on my end. I'm trying to get rid of. Okay, good. Okay, finally. Yes, I'll take it. Hey, and this is a conversation like clearly between Jeff Epstein and whoever. I'm not gonna jump into first name, last name, Pat, respectfully, because liability, clearly. But when we look at this, and I mean, I would like, Dana, if you don't mind, to come back with my favorite one of all of them I sent you earlier, Pat and Dana, is when she or he, okay, let's say this, he or she or he, use that term BVI for British Virgin Island. What the hell? And there's nothing else. There's no other abbreviation than British Virgin Island. Okay, guys?
Mm-hmm.
And it's confirmed. There's no maybe it means something else, like what else? I'm gonna just say, hey, Patty, what else? Dana, what else? Pat, come on, what else? Like you would say maybe bed and breakfast or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
No, it's British Virgin Islands. We know this.
You have Jeffrey Epstein you have it there. Jeffrey Epstein, gvacation@gmail. I'm pretty sure gvacation is the British Virgin Islands, where he take people vacationing.
Absolutely disgusting. He had the nerve to add vacation in the goddamn email he has. Wow. What a pig. Pig. There's... Woo, okay.
Can you put that back up for a second?
Yeah, I've got two more to upload. Just give me 2 seconds.
I just wanted to go to that one for 1 minute. There's something interesting, and then go to the one that I sent you while we were in the green room, because I want to reference the points in this in these email chains that are where we're getting the concern from, and that's the link to the CBC article. So sounds like you didn't see my doc. It's 90 minutes long, 48 hours. Why are they going up so fast and then dropping? I can't even read them.
because I'm loading them up, because when we crashed,
it sounds like you didn't see my doc. It's 90 minutes long, 48 hours doc, not have the permission to air it. Okay, so most likely you saw their story about the case.
That's right.
Okay. So they did an hour and a 2 hours version. And he, she, whatsoever, I can't believe you have email access. What are we talking here? Which access are we talking here? Which network? How about that?
Okay, I'm ready to start plugging stuff in.
Okay.
I can't really see them. They're small. But I'll pull them up. They might not be in order. We're just going to have to go with whatever they were. They were ordered until
it's okay.
Okay, so let's talk about this one first.
Okay, so
go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, I'm just going to go. So sounds like you didn't see my doc. It's 90 minutes long, 48 hours, does not have permission to air it. I'm curious if that's the documentary that they were just showing. If you've been watching social medias today, they're talking about how he's soulless. He does all these things. He admits he's a level 1 sexual predator in this interview. It looks almost like the same time frame. I could be wrong, but I couldn't match that time frame. I can't believe you have email access, is what they're saying. Email access. This is Jeffrey's in jail right now.
Yes.
He's in jail in this email in 2009.
That's correct.
And they can't and if you reference, Jeffrey was in jail in 2009 for this, and they've got he says it right there. I can't believe that's the person talking to him. This is the CBC reporter talking to them. Just so, and then if you can skip to the next one.
Okay, next one we have is right
Okay,
here.
so this is where I'm in Edmonton. She's referencing that she's in Edmonton. It was snowing when I got back from the British Virgin Islands.
Yes.
Maybe some leaves will show up on the trees soon. You can check out my broadcast. When you go to that broadcast link, and if you can show it, it goes to a 404. So CBC has already done away with that broadcast link.
Wow.
And that's one thing that I brought up is I was like, okay, I want to go into the Wayback Machine and try and pull this up. It's the 404. You still can't get it on the Wayback Machine. We broadcast at different times these days because of the NHL playoffs, so I wouldn't try to watch the live broadcast because you see, Jeffrey wants to watch her in action. He wants to watch her on the news. He wants to watch her doing their live broadcasts.
Twisted.
And now he says, now where at the bottom. I don't know where is, but he's still trying to reference to see her on TV. Go to the next. That's the same one.
Yep. Here we go.
Believe it was in the middle of the 48 hours mystery. So that was her broadcast would have came on in between 48 hours. A show on that they'll put on. And he missed her. Do you happen to remember which channel? I haven't sold it for distribution in the U.S. yet. Trying to keep track of these things. So they're having, I wouldn't say an intimate conversation, but it looks to me like the conversation that they are having is very cordial. It's very friendly. They're obviously discussing some more important. There's another one. The big one is what's coming up, and I think you have it. It's the one that says My Island.
Did we find out where that email links up to? The gvacations@gmail.com. Have we looked at that?
It's coming right from Jeffrey Epstein.
That is his email.
J-E is Jeff, and then E is Epstein vacation @gmail.com.
I can't believe this, man. I can't believe
this is crazy.
I can't believe
Let's go
what the I'm sorry for that. Excuse my French. What the fuck? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, this is the right one.
You got to get to the one where she says, I'm thinking about you.
Hang on.
Yes.
I'm thinking about you. How are you?
Well, they're not in order.
Wow.
Okay, give me a second.
Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, this is where it was when you start to piece it together and you time frame it. He's speaking to her from jail. So he's got links and emails to be speaking to from jail. He even talks about it in this major one. And this one is, saw the documentary from my jail cell. Ironic. Okay, so this is the other one. If you can scroll up, this one should show. I thought it might be fun to send you this. I'm hosting dinner at a really great restaurant here in Edmonton. Okay, at the bottom, take the banner off, the ticker on the bottom for a second.
Hold on.
Look at the very bottom. It says CBC News Edmonton.
Boom.
Okay, so I thought it might be fun to send you this. I'm hosting dinner at a really great restaurant here in Edmonton for a charity. So I'm still trying to find out what the charity was. I went to that campusauctionmart.com link, and it's a 404 as well. So all these links have been shut down to show no ties to any of this. Last year, I raised $2,000 for lunch for 2, and this is dinner for 4. 1,000% of the proceeds will benefit the United Way, Sign of Hope, Christmas Bureau of Edmonton, and Stollery Children's Fund. A special 5-course meal. Would love to see you bid on it. I don't know
Wow.
about you guys, but when you're doing,
Yeah.
love to
The
see
pizza
you
game.
get on it.
Right.
But not
Pat?
only is that's so crazy because like not only now are they tied into like fake news, right, for starters, and complicit to what's going on with the vaccines, and now there's potentially, possibly, or would appear to be a connection to Epstein. This is so wild. Like I can't believe this is happening in our country, and we thought we were the Care Bears of the world, right?
Right. But
Like,
there's
we're supposed
another one. So I went into a little bit of a more deep dive on who she is and what is she involved with. So she's actually an actress, has played on several movies in Canada, and a journalist. And I'm getting this reference from
Hang
who
on,
it
let me
was.
make it bigger. Hold on.
From Juno News. It says exclusive. We unmasked the CBC journalist in the Epstein emails. So that is where I'm sourcing this out. It released 21 hours ago. In it, they stated that the young lady is possibly this person. So I did a deep dive on this person, and I see in the deep dive that she's actually doing charity dinners. One of them she's seen here with a Canadian figure, and she's doing a charity dinner with Brett Wilson.
Oh.
And I'm kind of interested in knowing, okay, could this have been that dinner? But no, this dinner was in 2015, not 2009. So she does do charity dinners. So can't really say it's her, not saying it's her. Allegedly, this is somebody that I've gone down the rabbit hole with to see who this possibly could be tied to.
But I'm gonna say this: I have been listening, like you said, Juno, Rebel News as well, and earlier Sheila Guns, if I'm right, did mention someone retired in 2022. Do you still believe, Pat, we're talking about the same?
Well, when you're looking, so I seen that as well.
Okay.
But when you look into these emails, there's more. If Dana can pull up some more of the other emails, they're a very intimate style of email. Now, I don't know if this other news anchor, gentlemen.
Do we have this one already?
We did that one.
Yep. Hang on. Remove. Sorry.
And I don't know if this other news anchor who retired maybe swung for the other team. I don't know. And
I'm just going to use that word, liability. We're not going to say that name. Trust me.
And all I'm doing is guys, I've already said it, allegedly to all of this. These are what we're seeing. We've got Rebels already reported on it 6 hours ago. They dropped it. So it's nothing that people haven't already been talking about. So when I look at a lot of the evidence that I've seen, how I'm reading into and extrapolating the cordialness between it, I'm going to fit it as a girl, because that's the way my mind usually goes when I say I really miss you. I'd like to see you.
Wow.
Well, then there's this one.
Hey, let ask Patty. I want to hear Patty. How do you feel about to find out about that stuff? Like, seriously, how do you feel about it? Like, you are in Alberta. Hello.
Oh, the only thing I keep hearing play in my head over and over and over again right now is
Right.
Oh,
that is fucked up. That clearly shows that they've been talking for a while. Anybody in their right mind that's trying to send a more professional type of email or trying to like gain traction or attention from, somebody in an upper place, I guess you could say, like Epstein, would never speak like that. That clearly shows that they've been talking for a while and they're very comfortable speaking in that manner, which is like clearly disturbing. I've lost my voice.
It's okay. But I've been on the Justice Department, like, where you can see the Epstein library, not files, library. I really like the term they use. And I'll say this. I already shared with you, Pat, Dana, about the name of Mark Carney,
Mm-hmm.
The name of Mark Carney. Wow. Okay, there's nothing like explicit like what those emailed today. I mean, what we are talking right now, but still, he is linked to Jeff Epstein.
Like
no matter what.
Like 68 times. That's a
Yeah.
relationship, right?
I mean, there's over more than 7 pages of it.
And now you've got another one. Not sure if you have it, but it says, my island sits between St. Thomas and St. Job. Both Ghana and Norman are owned by my friend, Henry Yerike. And we have Henry Yerike's picture. He's a psychiatrist and a philanthropist. And how much longer will you be there? So he's asking, like, how long are you going to be there? Sorry about my phone. I'll be back in North America in a few days. My film is playing Seattle Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Note, so I'm there for that. So she's doing a movie premiere at a theater. So this is now trying to point more fingers to, okay, this Tracy Burns is an actress. She's been on Battlestar Galactica. She's known for her big movie, Mr. Big, and a bunch of other movies. So she's talking about being in a film. Then she says, I've been thinking about you. How are you? He says, saw the documentary from my jail cell. Ironic. So, no. So, yeah. News broadcaster, Canadian actress. My spidey senses are tingling. That's who it is.
How
Because
about this? What about this? Hang on. Let's talk about this.
Yes. So this is from the Substack for Juno. So Juno's dumped this already 21 hours ago. This is where I'm pulling this up from. Available information suggests that the late Tiffany Burns is the CBC reporter most likely to have corresponded via email with notorious child predator Jeffrey Epstein while he was in jail. Burns reportedly died after a battle with cancer. Heaven forbid. Sorry that happened to her. But this is who we feel. Once you look at who she is, okay, let's see who Tracy Burns is. You pull her up, do your IMDb, and you find out all the movies she's been in. Could probably go as far as finding out what movie she was doing the premiere in Seattle on May 9th in 2009 or May 5th, whatever it is. But at the same time, you have, like you said, you have Carney involved. You have CBC reporters involved, actresses involved. This is a deep web. And they do charity dinners. She's very famous for holding charity dinners. She's talking about doing a charity dinner. Then you've got charity dinners involved. She's at charity dinners with actors and actresses getting $400,000 per dinner for people coming in to sit at these dinners and hold these events.
It shouldn't be hard to find out those events, though, because those events would be well publicized in the right circles, you would think.
I'd like to find any articles or reporting that she's done before they start wiping her stuff now that this is coming out into the public, and find out when's the last time she worked for CBC.
Absolutely, you're goddamn right. Oh yeah.
So they knew enough to delete those links so that it didn't link back to them anymore. I'd like to know when was the last time she worked for them.
Well, let's go and hit the Google button on the Google in real time.
I was just gonna check.
Scooby-Doo. We're like, what? I love investigation, and I'm happy, Pat, you're part of it right now. I mean, not for the right thing, the right stuff, but hey, if we can discover like a more individual who were part of it, yeah, let's go. Let's go. And we do encourage everyone who's listening, watching right now as we speak, please help us out. You are the journalist now. And it's Elon Musk was right about it. You guys are the best journalists ever, not CBC. Obviously not. And that's what I was talking with Pat earlier.
Okay. So
CBC, I'm sorry, Pat, but will do anything they can to hide the truth. Go ahead, Pat.
Tracy Burns officially quit the CBC on Tuesday, April 24th, 2012. Her departure was marked by her final broadcast as a host of the Montreal afternoon radio show Home Run. Wow. Here I am in Montreal. While she didn't provide specific reasons for leaving during her final show, she later clarified that it was a personal decision driven by a desire for a lifestyle change and to spend more time with her family.
Did you
Yes,
just say
that's true.
a lifestyle change?
Yeah, I wonder what that means.
So she wasn't fired. She quit.
She wasn't fired. She quit.
What was the date of those emails?
2009. So
2009, yeah. And 2014 for her, 12, you said.
2012. So we go back. The emails are between April and May of 2009.
What
That's so
happened
disturbing.
Only 3
that
years
made
apart. So
CBC
clearly,
go and delete those web
Yes.
pages? Something happened
Because-
to make them go and delete those.
it was because they probably found out. I mean, they are journalists. So they found out she was, like doing some stuff aside with, weird people. And I'm being nice by the word weird. Okay.
But that's what I'm
those
saying.
kind
She
of
quit. She wasn't fired.
Yeah, she probably had another
trash,
job opportunity.
dirt bag, and I can keep it up like that. I think I need the dictionary right next to me to describe that kind of a fucking monster. You get that? Seriously.
Well, some people have been bringing some other stuff up, and I've seen the videos of him actually conversing with a reporter. And in this so-called interview that was scrubbed and never made air, and I think he's making reference to this said video in his email. I didn't sell the rights to have it aired, but now they're showing it. He's very, very ominous the way he talked. Like you can see he has got a twisted mind and wanting to learn about how the human body became the human body and finding the essence of your soul. And the guy even asks him, like, are you the devil? Like he literally asked him, are you the devil?
That's
Are you
creepy.
serious? Wow.
It's really creepy. Like you got to see this video. It's pretty in depth. I know where it is. I'll keep getting more of it. They've got it pieced together in obviously fishbowl style clips where they're only a couple 30 seconds, maybe a minute of the interview. But if we can piece it all together, put it all together, it's pretty wild. Or I'm sure I can
Did
find
anyone watch the documentary or whatever it is, the Pizza Gate?
I didn't see the documentary, no,
You should.
but I do have a lot of the
Sure.
files.
Where do we find it?
You should. I will send you the link. I will send you the link. And they are doing anything they can to hide the truth out there. And I'm being serious. Like, and since day one, I had a guy somewhere in Canada who's been working with those dude in US. And you can, for the cheese, little girl, hot dog for boys, that kind of a stuff, topping, and I can keep it up like that. You wouldn't believe when I'm gonna send you the link, okay, guys.
And
wouldn't
Wayfair
believe-
had something to do with it too, apparently. Allegedly, there was like something, they had some issues with, potentially child trafficking happening within their organization. Allegedly.
There you go. I
So
mean,
rumor would have it.
anything and everything. Logo to hide, like to have their own gang organization. Those pedophile out there, you wouldn't believe it. And I even shared something earlier to Pat of a guy we've been looking for a little while. It took me with my crew over like 5 years, and to tip the RCMP many times. And the funny thing is, hey, you need the right evidence. You know how long it takes for the law, the justice, to build a case and have like the right, solid cement information to go after someone. It's just like absolutely, completely ridiculous. Okay, guys? Us, all of us right now, if you're a citizen, we're like, hey, this guy is he's a pedophile. But hey, the justice will say, this is not the Far West anymore, guys. You need to go through the Justice Department and build a case. It's just I
They
don't
let
like
them out too. They bring
Yeah,
them in.
absolutely.
And they're out in like 5 minutes. On
Yeah,
bail.
I mean, just the guy today, I think it was yesterday or today, got released. He literally raped a little girl, like she's 14 years old, in Ontario, Brampton, and he got released on the spot. Not even like he paid the bail and bye-bye, out. So
Is
until
this
he
the
goes
same
back
guy
to the
that
court.
got?
Yes.
Is this the
Yes.
same guy that's just been re-released?
Yes.
This is his second
Yes,
time.
Patty.
They let him
That's right.
out.
Yes.
Within 2 hours, he was rearrested. Same guy,
Correct.
yeah. Wow.
Correct.
Oh, but listen, if you did tax evasion, you're locked up for your whole goddamn life.
Yeah.
Try
Yeah.
skipping your taxes if you're a company and you're only making like $75,000.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, you got to pay the coffer, right? You've
Yeah.
got to pay the coffer, so they got to get their money first out of you. Even when you die, you're paying taxes, so like they got to make sure
So
they get
Pat-
it. Yeah,
Pat King would have been treated better if he had raped a 14-year-old instead of saying fuck the government.
no, yeah, no, I wouldn't have.
That's pretty bad.
But
That's
yeah,
pretty bad when criminals like that are getting less sentences than somebody who says fuck the government. That's
Do we think
disturbing.
Epstein is dead? This is just hypothetical. Do we think Epstein is dead?
I don't even know anymore.
I'm on the thought that no, and this is why. If you're an innocent man, why would you hang yourself?
Yeah.
I mean, I mentioned something to Dana today, I think, concerning like a certain group named Goof Buster. I'm pretty sure you heard about that, Pat.
Rob Primo and them, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about those guys? What do you think? Like,
Why not?
Pat, you first.
Absolutely, why not? Why can you not protect your community from protect your children?
I'll be honest with you. At first, I was like, "Hey, this is not the Far West." My law enforcement, my enforcement side was talking, but today, after all those email, Pat, I was like, "God, no!" And that enough and off. And I want you to help those guys to become stronger, but more articulate. You know, when they go out there.
Do you know the backstory about that? Well, and we'll kind of spin off the Epstein stuff, but the backstory on that is that Rob brought up this predator 8 years ago, and the CBC tried to sue him they tried to sue him. Somebody tried to sue him for $250,000 and have him thrown in jail for 5 years.
Ouch.
For exposing this guy. So it all went under the bridge, and then all of a sudden he did it again, and he did it to a 3-year-old girl who was his niece. And like she had to go through reconstructive surgery. So this is personal for Rob. As you go down,
it wasn't a biological niece, though. It wasn't a biological niece.
No, it wasn't. That's correct.
She just started calling him uncle because he was next door.
That's right. Yeah. And then Rob took it personally, starts going down the rabbit hole and finding out how many sexual predators are in his neighborhood and in his close vicinity of these places and in front of schools. And in front of daycares, and how close these predators are to our children. And
that's right.
Police are supposed to not allow them in the vicinity of these places. They're in near parks and all of these kind of things. So what Rob's doing and their whole crew, and they're gaining steam. I see Ed comments in the side. It should be across Canada. We did it in Edmonton. There was a group that did it in Edmonton and protected the girl. The gentleman lived across. I wouldn't even say gentleman. The monster lived across the street from her. And some boys drove by on their Harleys and dropped a casket off on the front lawn of his house. And he ended up turning himself back in and serving his time in behind bars because he got his bail revoked intentionally, so he'd be safe for him behind the bars. But we've got these people crawling all over our streets. You've got Epstein's, people like Epstein everywhere.
But
You've
we
got
shouldn't have to
people
do that.
in big positions.
That's what we pay taxes for. So how about we stop sending so much money overseas to prevent people from pooping on beaches and shit, and focus on keeping our children safe? I don't understand.
It doesn't make sense to me. I feel like it's being done on purpose. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense why they're allowing this type of thing to happen to our children. That they're becoming more and more lenient. It doesn't make sense.
The way I feel is it's a direct attack as long as it's not bringing focus to the main issue. I hate to hear the expression that police have their hands tied. The monsters should have their hands tied until you can prove that they're not in these certain instances.
Look at Detective Bruce. Look what happened to her.
100%.
That's right.
Just a little bit of history for everybody. Detective Bruce was a police officer that was notified multiple times that there were babies that were unalive on delivery, and it was suspect vaccines, and she was stripped of her rank at the police station and brought through a really, really, really crazy police scrutineering board, and it stayed. They found her guilty. But you know what's crazy is they found her guilty for doing her job. When
Yeah.
people pick up the phone and they call the police, they expect them to do their job. So when we talk about police having their hands tied, it's much like, you know, if they get fired, they don't get to help anybody. Do you know what I mean? So everybody just has to stay silent. That they've got the same thing going on in the medical industry. It's the same thing with vaccines. Friends of mine in the oncology department here at the hospital are like, we're not going to talk about it because if we do, we'll lose our job and more people die.
Yeah. And we used to protest with a gentleman, and I see Nick Hurley. Nick, what was his name? I can't remember. I know he went to jail. He protected his daughter from this stuff. He used to do cash cows in Edmonton. He'd tell you where the photo radars were so that people weren't getting tickets. And he found a couple of these. He had creep catchers for a while that was going, but then they got a lawsuit because they were catching these guys online in real time.
Wow.
Profiling them, getting them off these websites, meeting them up at McDonald's and Walmarts and all of this stuff.
Wow.
There's a lot that people were doing. So I seen the other one. Everybody's missing the name too. His name is Jack Schultz. That's who it was. So Brenda, thank you for saying that. Jack Schultz. I stood on the line with Jack. I watched it. I think he went in for 7 years or something. I haven't talked to him for a while. But another instance like where the other gentleman with Phil Primo is Bam Bam Andrews. I think it's Andrews. But he's another one he's the one who's been doing this, catching these creeps, catching these monsters consistently. And yeah, it's been, people have been trying, but then they go to jail. So Jack went to jail because he actually took matters into his hands after going through, you know, a lot of this stuff himself in life. And then also his family and daughter had it happen, things like that. So these guys know the backstories on these monsters. There's a really big group called Human Traffickers Niagara Falls, and they've been trying to expose females that have gone missing and haven't been found in years. Human trafficking Niagara Falls. It's wild in that little Welland, St. Catharines, Niagara Falls region. It's like a giant a web of people going missing and these monsters living in the areas.
Well, we've got the same thing here in Newfoundland. And like Newfoundland, okay, we had one little girl raped and taken. She was like 13 years old, like 20 years ago. Her name was Dana Bradley. And it haunted everybody in Newfoundland forever because nobody does that here, or they didn't, right? Here, you be able to leave your cars on the floor and leave your doors unlocked, yada, yada, yada. But this is a crazy story for you about police and what they can do and cannot do and relevant to immigrants, actually. One of my male clients is a senior citizen. He's like probably 80. Anyway, he was explaining that he had a group of immigrants move into the top floor because he could only afford a 1-bedroom basement apartment. And apparently he heard lots of things going on, like screaming girls and, you know, lots of stuff. Anyway, one night, apparently this young girl ran out into the front yard with no clothes on. And he decided he was going to call the police. So the police told him to meet him at the local Tim Hortons instead of at his place. He goes over, sits with this police officer. And do you know what the police officer told him?
No.
We can go talk to them, but chances are they're going to know it's you. And they will come after you. So the best advice that we have is for you to not say anything and to start looking for an alternative place to live.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
Imagine.
I'm gonna say this for knowing some how some law enforcement officer can be. Just 2 words: paperwork. Okay.
Yeah.
So it could be the case, like just a goddamn lazy guy or girl, whatever it is, who decided to say like, oh gosh, like because it's a lot of paperwork, guys. Don't forget they are like functionary, right? You know, they are employee of the government. And I did argue once with staff surgeon from one department here where I live around the block. And I did call him out. Like, why guys like you're not, you know, filling up like some report. And, oh, yeah, you know, like it takes a lot of hours, you know, like, and then we're not really paid for that. I'm like, excuse me? No, yes, you are paid for that. Yes, you are. And sometimes what you're telling me, Ed, and maybe I'm completely wrong, but I it could be that case. Oh, we don't
Or
want
they're
to fall into
authentically
some-
worried about his safety, right?
possibly. Let's see.
Because if they're doing catch and release, right? They figure they probably go talk to them, might find something, pick them up. They know that the guy in the basement is the one that said something, or they would assume, right? Crazy. It's crazy. And
So I wanted to tell you guys, in 2018, me and my kids lived in Clearview in Edmonton. My daughter was 14 at the time, and she put up a babysitting ad. And somebody with an Indian accent had contacted my daughter. Now, before I go on with that, I'll explain that I had prepared her mentally for what might come through messages or phone calls by her putting herself out there as a babysitter with her picture.
Oh,
So she was mentally prepared for something to happen of this nature that did end up happening. So she obviously knew to come straight to me when it did happen. But this guy contacted her, wouldn't stop contacting her, was trying to get her to go and meet with her privately, was telling her not to tell her mom, thinking he would be able to manipulate her. I contacted the police, and the police response it was that if a crime had not yet been committed, they could not yet investigate. And I'm like,
that's correct.
He's trying to lure her. Is that not a crime?
Child
It's not.
luring is.
It is. Yes, Pat, you're right. But until the act is, in like proceeding, like he's on the way to, and it's not like the same. And people have like that. Don't know exactly how it works, but there's two different things between U.S. and Canada. And Canada, oh gosh, I'm telling you, you would be angry, mad at the system. And you have all the reason, everyone who's listening right now or watching, you have all the reason to be mad. Because us, again, and I'll take that example, the simple citizen. I am a simple citizen like you. I am just a simple guy, Pat, as well, like Patty. And we would like justice. I want justice too. But like I said, it took me like 5 years to tip the RCMP for a dude who was luring kids nonstop. And they were like, it's still not enough, until they decided to hire, because they got the budget for it, cybercrime to go, hey, on the laptop of XYZ guy. And look of what he's doing. Getting stuff. And I'm dead serious. It's always about bullshit budget with the cops or reports. I do I want to,
But I feel that the citizen's arrest is still an option. And when you have these creep catcher style guys, the Jack Schultzes, the Bam Bams, the Phils, and they're out there and they're catching these people online, such as emails like Jeffrey Epstein emails came, maybe, to go back to the reference of the beginning of the show. But emails, online chats where they're saying, okay, I want to do this to you. I want to do that to you. I want this to bring this, where that, the what's his name? Hansen or whatever, the guy who did he would do the Dateline NBC, Chris Hansen would go in and get these guys. They were able to charge them, okay, in the States. But in Canada, these guys have done this, lured these guys out of out from under their rocks. These guys show up at these establishments and the police just let them go. And that's where the disconnect. So then what do you get? You get politicians who are writing policies that won't even allow the policies. And I'm going to say it here, and I'm going to probably burst some people's bubbles. But just the other night at the so-called conservative conference, they have voted against these kind of mandates and these policies. And they've even gone as far as voting for gender affirming care
of minors. Let's not even go there.
But the Conservative Party
in Alberta, they voted against gender affirming care
in the province, not federally. At the Pierre Poilievre voting for his party, they put the vote through and it passed that gender affirming care for minors is still conservatives are
still a thing.
It.
That's correct. And I want to talk about what you mentioned, Pat, related to the citizen arrest. You know, in the criminal code, like there's an article named, the number is 494, Article 3C, okay? And that's the part, yes, you can. Yes, you can. As a citizen, you see a crime ongoing, not to attract the crime. Let's say, you know, you go online, you use like a decoy, like let's say I'm going to say, hey, Dana, you're going to dress like an underage lady, and we're going to cut like pedophile like that. I'm sorry. Good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
No. Example. Only an example. But I'm going to say this. You later on, cops will literally brush this away completely. And they're not going to take your case. They're not even going to look at it. And they're going to say, nah, it's not coming from us. Could you imagine that? You have to, if you see a crime ongoing, you know, in front of you, sure. But still, the cop are going to see, like, okay, they're going to question you. They're what happened? Exactly. Oh, okay, I saw the guy try like to break in inside that house. I stop him. Okay, but they weren't there. And that's the problem with Canada. Like, citizen has almost no rights, you know, have no power. And that's the disgusting part compared to the US on the US side. Sometimes I do envy like the US side.
Well,
But-
their constitution, the right to bear arms, the right to defend your family, the right to
Yes.
liberty, freedom.
Mhm.
You know, we got a gun grab happening up here. They're going to try,
Yeah.
right? Like
What a joke.
on the
You're
doorsteps
joking, right?
of on the doorsteps of the Third World War, and people are hungry everywhere and they depend on hunting. They're gonna take back our guns. Meanwhile, the criminals, all the gun crime that's happening in Canada is all the criminals bringing them across the border. So those guys are getting more guns, and they wanted this. Yeah, no, no, I think not.
I mean, personally, as a firearm instructor, safety instructor, I'm just going to say this, Dana. When they, the liberal got out of, every, you know, firearm that look alike. What are you talking about? Look alike. Assault style? Get out of here. Get out of here. That's
There's no-
completely ridiculous.
There's
There
no
was a
such
mem-
thing as an assault rifle.
Exactly.
They all assault. The member of parliament down here, Goody Hutchings, when she first started talking about the gun ban, I made a TikTok about her because she was like, oh, we need to, you know, take away these guns. And everybody's going, oh, we're hunters. She's like, I go hunting I hunt moose with a 22. Number one, that's illegal. And number two, that's not possible.
Excuse me,
Anyway,
it's way
I was
too-
like, your career is over. But this is what they do. They take a woman who's probably never hunted in her life. She's like, oh, I can just hunt with my 22. She looked on the list and seen that the 22s were still legal. Like, sweet baby Jesus in the garden. What a mess our country's in. Like,
I want to bring it back to the Constitution just for a quick sec. We have to remember that in the United States, their Constitution was built literally by the people and for the people. And so it was written in such a way to ensure that people of their nation are protected.
Yes.
Whereas our Charter of Rights and Freedoms, fake Constitution, was built by the monarch. It was built by the government to protect the government, not the people. That's why there's such stark differences in between the two constitutions.
You're 100% correct on that. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms was to get away from the statute, and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms was never ratified. Therefore, is it even worth? And that's the big debate. Is it even worth the paper it's printed on? Because not all provinces signed on it.
And it's my opinion that this is what the people of Canada should be demanding going forward. This should be our ultimate demand, is that we have a proper constitution that is there to protect the people.
100%. And the notwithstanding clause within the Charter of Rights as a temporary band-aid be removed immediately so that the government cannot supersede your rights when it comes to the charter should be your number one focus. Absolutely. And then to redraw up what's called a constitution. We've been doing it for years across Canada, speaking on it. We know the procedure that needs to happen for it. We know how to mail everything through registered mail to every citizen, to every town. It's a feat, but you can have a constitution written for Canada And I would say in less than 4 years, we would have a constitutional convention and we would be able to formulate it with the government as a referendum. We've been trying to do that. Nick Hurley's in the chat. We've done that for years. It just doesn't seem to gain weight in Canada. We need to protect ourselves from them so that these monsters can't come at us, and we don't have that and something different about Canada is Canada's never had to truly fight for their rights. They've been gifted their rights, so they take it for granted that these rights are ours. They're not. They're gifted.
So let's bring this back to the topic at hand. Let's go back to talking about the children. Okay.
Well, that's it. It's our children, our future children.
That's where we started, right? So, like, do we think that Jeffrey Epstein has operated child trafficking in Canada? Like, let's talk about that.
I would say yes. Yeah, right away. I would say yes.
I would say you would have operatives here. They would have had operatives here. I know that there's a very dangerous corner in, like I showed you, New York, St. Catharines there. There's another one up by Thunder Bay, Ontario, where they get them across into Minnesota. There's many transit spots across Canada that they've been noticing an increased amount of missing women, missing people, and they're all near border towns.
Do you remember the little kind of maybe about a year and a half ago, there was a lot of commotion about some noise coming out of Seacans?
The Everglades.
Allegedly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's another one that port. Well, so you look at the Highway of Tears in northern British Columbia and northern Alberta. The Highway of Tears leads right to Prince Rupert. Prince Rupert is our second largest port in all of Canada, and it's up in the armpit of Canada and very, very low security. In fact, when I was up there looking at the oil and gas project, I accidentally drove right into the shipping yard with no security, in amongst all these Seacans going, I'm not going to get arrested for this. And that in itself was quite ominous when you're sitting in a room, sitting in a far up north isolated community, and you have that much access to millions and millions and millions of Seacans, transportation worldwide, instantly poof out. And that's one of the jokes with the locals are when the Seacans are coming down the road transferring from the port and onward. I wonder how many people are in those Seacans.
Yeah, and
I also believe that something's going on in Prince George. Prince George, which the Highway of Tears runs through, has an exponentially high amount of missing people, men and women.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. But I'm going to use that example as Pablo Escobar. You know, like they just cut the head of the snake with Jeff Epstein. Okay, someone else going to take over. Someone else going to take over. Nothing is like the whole, child trafficking, human trafficking is done over. Absolutely not. If you do believe it's over, no, you're dreaming, guys. What do you think, Pat, about that?
I think 100% there's a master ring. It's one of the largest commodities next to drugs on the black market, with guns being a close third. If one's running them and they take out like they did with Pablo Escobar, then the Medellin cartels kicked in, then the Sinaloa cartels kicked in, and then all these different people, and they
adrenochrome,
all of that kind of stuff, right? So then they move these to they just move the player on the board and put a new man in place.
Yeah, the Hells Angels, 1%. Someone's give a percentage to whoever is all the way to the top. And I don't think Jeff Epstein was the top one. The food. No, he was in.
He was sacrificed.
I think Epstein was the Heidi Fleiss to the government. Like Heidi Fleiss was to the movie industry and to the high rolling industry. Jeffrey Epstein was the same for the political side of things.
He's like the Justin Trudeau of WEF.
They're future. Did
I just say that?
For real. It was actually a really good analogy. It was a really good analogy. Like it's Hollywood. Well, I call it Hollywood. And Jeffrey Epstein is like the one of the very successful ones doing what they do in Hollywood with the political side, like you said.
It'd be interesting too to see if Picton Farms is related to this Jeffrey Epstein stuff.
No, but guys, we got it all wrong. We should listen to Billie Eilish, and tell ICE to get out with her $14 million mention, right, guys? Come on,
Right.
we are all wrong here.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you
We're not
guys see the
wrong.
post? I think it was yesterday. What's that famous rapper girl's name again? She's the most famous rapper in the world, female rapper.
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj.
Thank you.
Or Beyonce?
Trump Barbie or whatever. She made a post yesterday saying, just so you all know, Hollywood is a bunch of satanic ritualists who kill children for blood. Like, she said that right out in the public, and I was just like,
Ow.
I'm so glad that people are finally speaking out
Well, she's
and
been
like trying to
canceled.
expose things. What?
She was canceled by the media back in vaccine times because she was talking about it. I did so much laughing when I saw the video. She came out on a video. She's like, y'all better not be taking those vaccines. My cousin is getting married and now his dick don't work, and all because of those vaccines. And she got completely canceled. They called every radio station, and she went dead in the water. So she's just following up now. Now she's pissed, and she's just
Okay.
like, let her buck. Make it bigger.
Well, they tried to cancel her.
You have something, Pat?
I do. So I'm going to post this link in the chat. But one of my followers just put it in the chat, said, check your messages, Pat. This is the interview with Steve O'Bannon. This is the interview I'm talking about. And I got the full length interview of it, of him explaining how he has no soul. He's a level 1 predator. Lots of things here. So thank you, Marie, for showing that to me. I have
We
it
should
now.
respect
It was
When
released.
was that interview done?
Okay, so it was released 2 days ago. It already has 1.18 million views.
Oh,
It was February 1st. So that's when it was done. This is 2-hour Jeffrey Epstein, Steve Bannon interview footage surfaced online around late the 31st, February 1st. Takes place 15 hours of video Bannon personally recorded with Epstein in early 2019 at Epstein's Manhattan townhouse. These were filmed as part of unreleased documentary, as per Bannon's talk, or media coaching PR rehabilitation effort to help Epstein counter negative publicity following renewed scrutiny from 2018 to 2019 reporting and before Epstein's July 2019 federal arrest. Bannon has long teased releasing parts of this material, but has never fully done so publicly. The full 15 hours remained under wraps. According to Michael Wolf, who was there for the first taping and reviewed transcripts of others, Bannon may actually have no ownership rights to the recordings. Whatever exists is technically owned by Jeffrey Epstein or his estate. Even if the tapes survived, Wolf says they would likely be in the possession of Epstein's co-executors, attorney Darren Indike and accountant Richard Kahn. So what I'm thinking is the DOJ just released all of this copy, and Steve O'Bannon got a hand on it and said, finally, I can release my stuff that I've had on this the whole time. So thank you, Marie.
Pizza
Pat, I got
Gate.
an idea. I got an idea.
Yeah.
Maybe we should guerrilla stream it. Do you want to?
I can guerrilla stream it. Absolutely.
Okay, let's
That
do
would
it.
be good.
Hang on.
I'm telling you, Dana, like the Pizza Gate as well. You'll be shocked. You guys are going to get mad, upset. It's absolutely, there are monsters. There's monsters among us, and we don't know. That's the crazy part, because they are protected. Look how long, like Jeff Epstein, since the 80s. Seriously. The 80s, the guy has been running like this for so long, almost 20 years, without being like pointed. Hey, maybe we should take distance from this guy. Come on.
Yeah. It's fascinating. It's fascinating and it's dark. But you know what? I always say to everybody, just to leave it on a note of hopium, because I try not to go over an hour, is
Yes.
maybe, just maybe, things aren't necessarily getting that much worse, but we know they are. It's more so that we're seeing more. right? The truth is being revealed. And in order for us to be able to clean up our country, we first got to drain the swamp. So maybe that's what, our plan is, our objective is to bring the truth to light,
I have it uploaded down there if you want to put it up.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, guys. Seriously, who can we call? Goofbuster. Okay.
Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters. How do I do this, Pat? Talk me through it.
Okay, so you have it down there. It says Pat King is sharing. Just say present and pull it up. Add to screen.
I don't see
You
it.
see it? You don't see it at the bottom, right beside my window.
Right beside your window? No.
It
Oh, right
says-
beside your window. Okay, here we go. Let's go. All right, guys, we'll bid you a goodbye. We're going to start streaming this now. So let's
Yay.
go.
Woohoo.
Let's see. Is that it? I don't know, Pat. I think what we should do just to make it easier is we'll jump out. I'll jump in your back end and we'll do it that way. Just so that you know what you're doing with the StreamYard stuff. I'm not really a podcaster. I'm just a talking head. So let's do it. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. And,
All right.
Stay
All
tuned.
right.
We're gonna
Thank you,
gonna
guys. Have
we're
a
gonna
nice
show you that
evening.
video. Yay. Okay. See you
Bye,
soon.
Thank you,
guys.
Pat. Thank you, Patty.
Bye.
Thank you, Dana.
Bye,
Thank
Patty.
you very much,
Take
guys.
care.
Thank you for your
Bye.
time.
Bye.
Who can we call? Dana.